So you landed on the pavement?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was on the ground. So that time I had to put hand down to get hand out from underneath. As I come out, I start drawing my weapon. As I start leveling off my weapon, he makes his next step towards me, and 21-foot rule. I'm on the ground already.
This is the interrogation of Michael Drejka, immediately following his arrest for the shooting and killing of Markeis McGlockton. On the 19th of July, 2018, Drejka confronted McGlockton and his girlfriend about parking in a handicapped parking space. The situation escalated until McGlockton pushed Michael Drejka onto the ground. Drejka then pulled out a handgun and shot McGlockton, killing him instantly. What investigators need to decide is, if Drejka's actions fall under Florida's Stand Your Ground law, which permits the use of a firearm to defend oneself. Whether you agree with the law or not, it's the job of the investigators to uphold the law as written and decide how to proceed with this case.
You gonna be cool?
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know you. I don't know nothing
I know
about
you
what's
don't.
going on.
I know. You have my absolute
Okay.
word, sir.
Okay.
Detective?
Yes.
You have my word, detective.
Is your watch here? Is it a smart watch or anything like that?
No, it's
Okay.
just
Nothing?
Timex. Nope, no smartphones, no nothing.
Where's this gonna come up and
What's this?
cigarettes and a lighter pile bag?
Is that the only thing I left in there?
What's in that brown bag?
There's a
Hey, one more. Hey,
With a holster magazine with some rounds in it.
Despite the situation leading up to the interrogation, we can already see Drejka is comfortable, relaxing his arms and stretching out his legs. This will make it easy for the officers to get information from Drejka. As his body language suggests, he is not being defensive right now.
Thank you for being very professional.
Drejka is the one to make the first move in the interrogation by complimenting the officer. He's trying to get on the sheriff's good side to gain favor, but there's an ulterior reason that makes this dangerous. By initiating, Drejka is trying to put himself in a position of power in this situation and take control of the conversation. The sheriff needs to stay in control and not let Drejka take the lead. So let's watch how he reacts.
That's what I get paid to do, and that's just me.
That I was going to say, that's not paid.
It's just the way I am.
Yes, sir.
There's no reason to treat you any different.
The officer passively takes the compliment, then asserts that he's not going to treat Drejka any differently. The start of the interrogation is important for setting the entire scene and can be the difference between getting vital information or not.
Fair enough. That's why I like dealing with sheriffs better than local. All right.
I won't take offense to that.
so you're holding your arm. Is it hurt or something?
Yeah, it's starting. Everything's starting to get sore. Where it hit me from behind.
No,
and
I don't-
landed. That's all. Everything's.
Is anything broken?
No.
Torn?
No.
Okay. All right.
Straight up.
Okay.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? I'm Detective Upton.
Left hand, please.
Left hand, okay. Sorry to have to meet you under these stressful circumstances a little bit.
Myself as well.
Yeah. It's my understanding that your vehicle is still...
It's not a problem.
It's at the store.
Right by my house, so
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. We have it all cordoned off. It's safe and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that parking lot, really.
Okay.
I never have. That's my store. I go in there every day.
Drejka seems to have possessive tendencies. He describes the local store by his house as his store. This could suggest why he felt strongly enough to escalate the situation when he saw someone breaking the rules there.
You guys just live right around the corner?
Right around the corner.
Okay. Would you be willing to give us consent to go inside your vehicle and just for documentation purposes and that kind of thing?
Shit, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a tip, if you ever find yourself in the interrogation chair, detectives never just want to look through a car for documentation purposes. This is a way of making it more likely to get consent to do a full investigation of the vehicle. Drejka would probably have been willing either way, but this is a subtle tactic for the detectives to get what they want.
Just to reiterate, my name is George Moffitt. This is Richie Redmond, or the Connell's County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir.
We just want to talk to you, reference today's shooting. So just walk through, you leave your house and you drive up to the store?
No, I was coming back from the Wawa down on Missouri and Rosary to get some cash and headed home. Stop by the store, boom, home.
Okay. So you get to the store, tell me, kind of walk me through what happens.
I park my car, and that's my store. I'm there every day, plain and simple. And every day there's somebody pulled in the handicap spot there, just waiting on somebody.
Okay.
So I have a pet peeve about it.
Sure.
I said, do you mind, moving? There's a spot next door, and there's spots out front. I said, would you mind moving and waiting on somebody? And
So there's plenty more spots.
there's plenty more spots,
Okay.
yes. And she took that as an affront that I would speak to her that way. Started getting a little, yelling, and then of course.
So you walk up to her car?
Actually, I was walking around it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I parked here, she was here.
Okay.
Okay, so I just checked for placards, plain and simple. And she inquired about what was going on.
Okay.
And that's when I told her, about the handicap spots.
What did you tell her?
I said, it's not very polite to park here when there's other people who need to use this. She says, is it affecting you directly? I said, if my mother-in-law rolls in, yes, it will be. So, there's nothing, there was none of that between us at all.
Okay.
No, nothing. It was just heated words, that's all. About
Okay.
how I was speaking to her, I guess.
Okay.
She said, what do I have to do to get my man? I said, well, what's going to happen then? And a little more arguing back and forth, and I never saw what hit me from
She was the driver of the car?
She was in the car. She was the
Okay.
only person in the car
All right.
that I know of.
You didn't see anybody else on the car?
Tinted windows, almost dark,
Okay.
couldn't see through.
All right. So you guys are talking?
Yeah, exactly. She's out of the car by this time.
Okay.
Standing next to it, that's all.
Okay.
And I got hit from the left side and thrown straight backwards in line with her car. So
Okay.
if you saw the two white ladder lines
Mhm.
next to the thing, that's where I was standing. Okay, so I went almost straight back after I got hit.
What do you mean hit?
I was standing like this talking to her.
Okay.
I was hit from right here. The shoulder was pulled in front of me, and then I was,
Oh, okay.
and then
All
I hit the
right.
ground.
Okay.
Okay, I'm pretty sure.
We'll get somebody to take pictures of all this.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that too much, but I'm pretty sure I landed my wrist under my gun, actually. That's how I landed, because that's hurting like a son of a bitch now.
So you landed on the pavement?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was on the ground. So that time I had to put hand down to get hand out from underneath. As I come out, I start drawing my weapon. As I start leveling off my weapon, he makes his next step towards me, and 21-foot rule. I'm on the ground already.
Right. Okay.
It happened so fast, and that was that.
Did he say anything to you?
Negative. Not a word.
Okay. Did you say anything to him?
No.
Like back up? or-
No.
There's no denying that Drejka hurt his arm in the incident. The scratches and bruises are evident. However, he seems to give his arm more attention and is more likely to hold it when his injuries are brought up. Watch what he does with his arm after using it in a demonstration.
Okay. So you draw your weapon. Talk to me about that from
Well, the way I was able to draw it, I couldn't level it with one hand, so I had to eventually try and bring my left around for support.
Okay.
And he made his step towards me, and that was that.
How many steps did he make towards
Just one step.
Okay. And then that was that. Talk to me about that. What do you do from there?
Drejka does not put his arm back in the sling like he did prior. It seems strange that he would hold it in the sling for this long to keep it from hurting, just to let it go. Again, Drejka is probably hurt, but this behavior seems to suggest he's exaggerating how much it hurts to garner some sympathy. It hints that he might be exaggerating other details in his story for the same reason.
I made sure there's no other threat around him because it spun him a little bit, and he ran into the store. Immediate threat gone. I did have her as a potential.
No, I mean beforehand, before you fired the gun.
Ask me the question.
Before you fired the gun,
Yes.
once you pull the gun out,
Yes.
okay, you said he stepped towards you?
Yeah.
Because I don't want
One
to
more
put any words-
step, right, he made one more step towards me.
And then what do you do?
I didn't say a word. Gun
Okay.
was already out.
Okay, what do you do?
Fire my weapon.
How many times you fire the
One
weapon?
time, sir.
Okay, so you fire the weapon and then basically just scan?
I ended up standing up, made sure all the threats were cleared, reholstered my weapon.
Okay. All right, so he didn't come back at you again or anything like
Not
that?
after he left.
Where did he go?
into the store.
Okay. Did you strike him?
No,
No, I mean with a gun.
no, I don't know. I
Okay.
assume so, yes, because there was an ambulance there.
Okay. So you don't know if you hit him?
I know nothing, but I would assume so.
Okay. All right. So what do you do? Talk me from there after you reholster your weapon.
After I reholster my weapon, everything's clear. Somebody's screaming about hurt kids. Somebody's screaming about hurt kids. Somebody thought they were in the car. So I said, everybody's inside, see if you can get her to unlock the car.
Mhm.
And that was it. All I remember is screaming about kids.
Okay. What do you do from after you hear somebody talking about our kids and stuff?
Everything's all, well, I asked one person to go, see if she can unlock her car from the inside, and then I decided to extricate myself from the situation completely and just back to my vehicle and wait for you. So I took my firearm out, unloaded it, locked it, left it in the car. And
What do you mean you locked the back?
Yes.
Okay.
Unloaded it, locked it back, waited for you.
Okay. Did you unload a bag or anything like that? Or?
No, God,
Okay.
no. Just
All
the
right.
one that was in the pipe.
Okay. So where did you store the weapon at? Inside the vehicle.
Oh, it was in my holster.
Okay. Where did you put the gun at? Though?
Right on top of the center console.
Okay, on top of the center console. What do you do from there?
Wait for you.
Okay. Do you make any statements to anybody?
Negative.
Okay, on the parking lot?
Other than telling people it's probably not a good idea to be in here right now.
Okay.
Customers pulling in now. I spoke to no one else.
Okay. All right.
Well, I did inquire if he had his cameras on because I know he's got 9 cameras in that place.
You inquired to who?
The clerk through the door.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was on the phone with someone.
Okay, so did you make contact with him? You walked up to the store and made contact?
I walked up to store through the door,
Okay.
and he nodded yes. And
Okay.
that was the end of that because I really want somebody to look at those tapes. It should have everything.
Okay. I'm sure they do. So after all this happens, deputies show up, I'm assuming?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Talk to me about that. What happens from there?
Procedure, deputy, identified me. I identified myself.
Okay.
And from there, it was straightforward. Me on the ground, handcuffs.
Okay. So you get to the store.
Yes.
Where do you park your car?
Directly next to the last parking space.
So you park there, you exit your vehicle to, like you normally do, go inside the store.
Sure.
So you exit your vehicle, right? Like you always do, and you're getting ready to walk in the store.
Yeah.
And what do you see from there?
No placard on the front of the car. Because I have to walk by the car to...
So you approach the vehicle?
No, front of the vehicle, yeah.
Okay. Where do you
Usually
normally
take pictures if there's,
Okay. You take pictures if you don't see no placards, or
Correct.
you take... Okay. When you approached the vehicle, was the driver... Did you make eye contact with the driver?
I couldn't see the driver. The windows are so dark.
Okay.
I didn't know anybody was in the car.
Right.
Truthfully.
So her window wasn't rolled down?
No,
The
not
driver's
at the
side?
time, no.
Okay. So you start walking around the car?
Yeah, I walked from the front to the back and then just back up again. And
Okay.
I took no pictures. I just, would
Sure.
assume would go and keep going. But then the window came down.
So when she rolls her window down, she says, hey, what are you doing? How far are you away from the car?
To the front of the car.
Okay, so you're standing at the front?
Yeah, about the front of the car, which is
Are you on the
sidewalk. Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the sidewalk?
Yeah, I'm not exactly in front of the car. I'm on the sidewalk at the front of the car.
Okay. So after you start talking to her, do you approach the driver's side of the car?
Yeah, just of course. I don't want to yell back and forth.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
So how far do you approach the vehicle, distance-wise, approximately?
God, it's going to be. She's in the car.
So let's say I'm the driver.
She can probably smell your breath.
Okay.
After a while, it's not like I was leaning in her car or anything.
Hopefully you can't smell my breath.
Oh yeah, hopefully that's what we're on.
So can you show me how far, let's say I'm her, how far do you come up to her?
By the window.
Okay, so a couple feet.
Yeah, I'm not going to encroach into her car.
All right. So you walk up to her car and you say, I was looking for handicapped placards.
Correct.
And then what did she say?
What's it matter to you? I said, well, it wouldn't matter to me unless my mother-in-law showed up right now and needed a place to park.
Was she a little heated?
Very.
Okay. So you guys start having a discussion back
Yeah, a
and
little
forth.
heated discussion back and forth, definitely.
All right. So tell me a little bit about that.
It's exactly about the same thing. We're going back about the
I know, but
same-
exactly what was said.
I couldn't even... The thing I remember her saying is, do I have to get my man? And I said, well, what's that mean? Are we going to fight?
Okay.
But
what
I guess so was her answer.
Okay. What were you saying to her, though?
It's all about the placards.
Okay. That you
All
don't
about
have
the
placards?
No, all about the space, not the placards
Okay.
per se, but the space.
Did you ask her to move?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say, hey, I'm going to call the police?
No, I did not say that at first. I'm going to bring that up. I
Okay.
thought a simple courtesy would do.
Overall, the interrogation is fairly straightforward. Drejka has given his story full story, is committing to it, and doesn't seem to be withholding information. His claim could fall under Florida's Stand Your Ground law, but that depends a lot on the nuance of the situation. The investigator asked Drejka if he considered calling the police, to which Drejka said he didn't. This could be a strike against him, since he chose to be personally involved instead of calling authorities. It shows Drejka might have been more willing to take matters into his own hands from the beginning.
So basically, you guys have a heated conversation, right? And you're standing that close to her car, and she mentions her man, because again,
No man in the car. I don't know of any man.
Okay.
Whatever. All I hear is it mentioned.
do you want me to get your man? That's exactly what she said.
No, she said, do you want me to get my man?
My man. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's
So-
exactly what she said.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Mike. At any time and point, because we all know parking in a handicap spot without placards is illegal, correct?
Yeah, but that's not why I ask people. I can't.
Sure, right. And I get that. But at any time and point when you saw the vehicle, you checked the vehicle for handicap placards?
Of course.
Okay. You didn't see no handicap placards? At any time and point when you noticed that, why wouldn't you pick up the phone and contact law enforcement?
There it is. Here she comes. Wait a minute. I can't even remember what she said there.
Okay.
Because all we were having was a verbal argument between two people.
Right.
I didn't know about a third person.
Okay.
I was literally blindsided.
Why would you?
To the ground.
Right.
It's subtle, but Drejka tangentially avoids answering the question. He doesn't answer why he didn't call the police by saying he didn't think there was a third person. The investigators need a clear answer about what Drejka did think, rather than what he didn't think. The investigator does notice this and asks for clarification, as this could be the deciding factor in an already delicate case.
But wouldn't it be best, you think, to call law enforcement and say, hey, there's somebody illegally parked?
It's not going to help. She'll leave.
So you guys are bickering back and forth. Next thing you know, you get pushed?
I'm blind. Pushed nothing. Tackled. I'm
Okay.
blindsided, dude.
Okay.
I'm on the ground hard.
So he shoved you pretty good.
No, for what it felt like is he come running at me.
Okay. Like full force.
Dude, I haven't been hit like that since I was in my 20s.
Okay. All right. So he shoves you to the ground. You fall to the ground.
Correct.
Okay.
Slightly, dude. Not very. Slightly.
Okay. Do you hit your head?
Don't know. Don't feel anything.
Okay.
Don't know.
So you don't know if he's
sideways like this. I know this landed under my gun. Okay, so I landed on my wrist on my gun.
Okay.
Had to reach over to extract my hand.
To push yourself back.
To push myself up off of that. And as I'm reaching and pulling around, he's standing in front of me. As I come up, he's taking his step towards me.
Okay. Now let's discuss that. If you don't mind, could you sit on the ground real quick for me?
That's where I was.
I don't want you to hurt it.
No.
Okay.
We do.
So you're on the ground, right?
I'm on the ground like this.
Okay. How far is the guy away?
Front of the car.
He's at the front of the car?
Front of the
So he's on
car.
that sidewalk, kind of curb area?
No, he's in front of the car, off the sidewalk.
Okay. Right on the edge?
You got it.
So how far do you think he's away from you?
I might have been right at the edge of the back of the front door.
Of the car?
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
So he's up by the front tire?
He's up by the front tires. No, further than that, man.
Further than this?
Further than that, man.
Okay.
I was back further. He had to be further than that.
Okay. So he's about this far?
Yeah.
Maybe even further?
And as I come up this way, because I have to come up off my hand, all right, I bring the gun out with me, And as I'm coming back this way, I can't support it, so I hit this.
Okay.
And as
What does he do?
as I come out like this, he's taking his step.
Okay. Taking a step?
Taking his steps towards me.
Okay. How close does he get to you before you fire the gun?
Maybe to the front tire.
So show me where. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, so right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he charging after you?
2 steps running.
Okay. Well, you're saying he was running?
Well, it would have been running when he got out of behind the car.
Okay. All
I
right.
gotta get both.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want you to hurt yourself.
What did you think then, Mike?
Say again,
What
bud?
did you think when that happened?
I've never been in that situation ever. I thought kicks were coming.
So you thought he was gonna?
I thought kicks were coming, or at least he'd be on top of me.
You need help?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Left arm's good.
All right. So you're thinking he's gonna come kick you?
I'm thinking he's coming to do the rest of it.
Did you see him with a firearm?
No, sir, I didn't see him with anything.
Okay. What do you mean the rest of it?
Whatever beating was coming after that.
So you thought he was gonna beat you and stuff?
You're not kidding.
Okay. All right. So
If he can't hit me that hard to begin with from blindside from the get-go, what else should I expect?
okay. All right. So you're on the ground. You said he was running at you, but he only took like a step.
He would have if he had cleared that and come around towards me again with
Right.
that second foot.
Okay. So he only made one step.
He barely made the second step before I pulled the trigger.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. You mentioned early that you asked Mustafa about video and stuff like that.
Correct.
Do you think the video would show him charging it or running
It
at you?
should.
Okay.
There should be an angle right on that parking spot.
Okay. What happens if I told you that I looked at the video and in no time and point does he come running up towards you?
3249. The worst thing that can happen in an interrogation is to get caught in a lie. It throws your entire account into question and immediately makes any testimony against you more valuable than your own in court. This is especially bad considering it's about a critical detail like whether McGlockton took a step forward or backward, since this completely changes how Drejka could have perceived him as a threat. Drejka was still pushed first, which is another detail to consider in this situation. But this completely turns the interrogation out of Drejka's favor.
I would disagree.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would disagree in a heartbeat.
Okay.
The next worst thing that can happen in an interrogation is to deny the evidence, as it then throws your entire judgment into question. You want to think about how a jury will perceive this interrogation in court. Lying is bad, but you want to accept the facts as soon as possible, so you don't look any worse.
You said after he runs in the store and stuff like that.
Did you see me get hit?
Oh yeah,
Where
absolutely.
did you come from? If you don't mind me asking, where do you come from?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Investigators like to withhold information as a tactical strategy. They already used this to catch Drejka in a lie, and they're declining to answer his questions in case a detail comes up that they need to ask him about later. The less information they give him, the easier it will be to catch him in another lie.
But did she walks around the vehicle. Does she go anywhere? Do you see her go anywhere?
She went to the front of the store, she was inside for a while, then she got in and moved her car.
Okay, so she came back outside the store.
She did.
Did you guys have any discussion?
The only thing I said to her was somebody's trying to see if you've got keys for your children.
Okay, all right, okay.
That is all, but after our
She don't
initial
say anything
little-
else?
No,
Okay.
not to me. No,
Like
and I-
started swearing at you or
No,
anything like that?
negative. Our argument was totally about the handicap spot.
Before she runs in the store, did she make any threats or?
I wouldn't know. I was trying to assess my own situation, sir.
Okay. Let's kind of back up because I'm just trying to understand. Excuse me. Before you shoot him, okay, and he had already shoved you, right? You said you thought he was going to come kick you and basically finish the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Drejka was less than willing to acknowledge McGlockton stepping backward. The investigator is using a strategy where he moves away from a key topic for a moment, then returns to it later when Drejka might be more willing to discuss it. The investigator doesn't address the question the same way, instead is asking how Drejka could have perceived a step back as a kick.
Did you hear him make any statements?
Negative. He never made a word.
Okay,
until
like
I
I'm
fired.
coming to
Never said a word until I fired, but then he never said a word when he dumped me either.
Right. So you never said, what
No,
the hell,
sir.
dude? Okay. So you guys don't have any type of...
I barely even saw the man.
No, I mean, after he
Oh,
pushed
no.
you were on the ground.
There's
You're trying to get to your sidearm.
no talks between us
Okay.
at all.
You don't ask him, what the hell, dude? Why'd you push me?
No,
He doesn't make any statements, I'm gonna come kick your ass?
no, negative.
Okay.
Didn't say a word to me.
So he made no threats that he was gonna come finish his job?
It was an assumption, definitely.
Okay, so you just assumed he was gonna come do that?
Any smart person would, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I get it.
Again, this is looking bad for Drejka. The investigator caught his saying that he merely assumed that McGlockton was going to come in for an attack with zero evidence or clues to suggest it. And while Drejka clarifies that anyone would assume this, he still admits to making that assumption. This is the biggest detail yet on whether the situation falls under Florida's Stand Your Ground law, since assuming there's a threat is a lot different than perceiving there's a threat. There is still the matter that Drejka was pushed first and sustained injuries, but the prosecuting lawyer could say McGlockton acted in self-defense when he saw a man harassing his girlfriend in their car. Even if Drejka says he was asking politely for her to leave the spot, his testimony is thrown into doubt by the fact he was caught in a lie. Drejka went from having a possible advantage in this case to being at a disadvantage.
I understand it. So, and then you shoot him, just one time, correct?
One time, sir.
Okay.
Neutralize.
And then he just neutralize it?
Neutralize, and then that's it. There's no reason to
What do you mean? Can you elaborate? What do you mean neutralize?
neutralize the immediate threat.
Okay.
And then that's it. No reason to go overboard anyway.
Sure. Okay. I get it.
Now we see Drejka is feeling some pressure from the interrogation. He uses a defensive tactic by minimizing the damage he caused. He just killed a man and is trying to say there's no reason to go overboard about it.
And then he runs in.
I shoot to save my own ass, and that's that.
Okay. Don't you think that it would be best to notify law enforcement? You said you don't like to argue. You said you don't like to have confrontations. Wouldn't it be...
Point taken, but
Okay.
you were straying a bit off course, I think.
No, we'll get back to that, but I'm just asking you a simple question.
43-46. The investigator has been doing really well here keeping Drejka from avoiding the question about confrontations. Every time Drejka says this doesn't seem relevant, the investigator has reined him in to answer the question.
Do you think it would be best to call law enforcement and have them address that issue?
You'll never make it.
Okay. Because the person what? Will
They leave.
Okay.
They'll never make it.
All right, so it's...
Unless you guys are literally parked there, you're not going to drop an important something for...
Sure.
Okay? Why bother you with stupid things like that?
If, let's say on the video, I watch the video, whatever, and he doesn't approach you or make any steps towards you like you indicated.
Exactly what I saw, though.
Okay, so you saw him come towards you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what happens if he didn't come towards you? Would you still fire around?
There's no reason to. If he's retreating, then I don't need to use my firearm.
What if he's just standing still?
I still don't need to use my firearm.
And the investigators have just backed Drejka into a corner, and he doesn't even realize it. Drejka admits that even if McGlockton was standing still, there would be no reason to use his firearm. It doesn't matter what Drejka perceived or assumed. He's basically admitted that even after being pushed, there was no need for him to fire his gun in that situation. This is a damning confession, and one that will weigh heavily on Drejka in court.